Precambrian era, 4.5 billion to 541 million years ago. Between 4 billion and 2.5 billion years ago, the continental shield rock began to form. Approximately 70% of continental landmass was formed during this time. Small island landmasses floated in the molten seas. About 2.5 billion years ago, enough shield rock had formed to start recognizable geological processes such as plate tectonics. This shifted Earth's progress from a molten hell to a living planet. About 1.2 billion years ago, plate tectonics forced the available shield rock to collide, forming Rodinia, Earth's first supercontinent. During the long course of Precambrian era, the climatic conditions of Earth changed considerably. Earth had acquired enough mass to hold a thin atmosphere composed of methane, ammonia, and other gases. Water from comets and hydrated rock condensed in the atmosphere and fell as heavy rain, cooling the planet and filling the first oceans with liquid water. At about 2.4 billion years ago, oxygen was released from the seas as a byproduct of photosynthesis from cyanobacteria. The Precambrian era represents more than 80% of the total geologic record. The beginning of the Precambrian era starts at the stage of our early planet, forming roughly 4.5 billion years ago, and ends at about 541 million years ago, once more complex forms of life emerge. At the end of this era, simple single-celled organisms had already arrived on the planet, providing oxygen in our oceans and atmosphere. Represented on a 12-hour clock, the Precambrian era lasts 10.5 hours, starting from 12 o'clock p.m. and ending at 10:30 p.m. It is now known that Precambrian rocks contain evidence of the very beginnings of life on Earth, which, based on the age of the rocks that contain the oldest clues of life, took place nearly 3.5 billion years ago. The explosion of life forms without skeletons before the Cambrian, and even before the development of sexual reproduction. By the end of the Precambrian, the ocean floor was covered in a living mat of bacterial life. Exactly when or how it happened is unknown, but microfossils of this time indicate that life began in the oceans about 3.5 to 2.8 billion years ago. It is probable that these microscopic prokaryotes began as chemoautotrophs, anaerobic bacteria able to obtain carbon from carbon dioxide.